holding cells.
I'm following you, friend.
Oh, the fact that the UC was entertaining the notion of xeno-warfare angers me to the core.
Hey, my mods are not working. Uh, Let me launch Vortex, sorry. Vortex. Check for updates. Okay. Wait, let's see. Not working. Configuring, it says. Ugh. Okay, it's not working. Let me see. Starfield. Weapon of the mod. Game Pass. I won't screw it.
So, where to next?
Careful near the railings on the upper levels. It's a long way down.
Is that really her? Hadrian.
Percival. My God, look at you. You're an old man now.
You're no hassling yourself anymore, Major. Our friend here showed me your sample. Suffice it to say,
Not here. Let's talk somewhere more private. Lou said we could use the back.
The Red Devils aren't exactly your average bar crowd. You can see it in their eyes. We don't
Lou gave me
belong
the
here.
abridged version of what went down. Yeah, I can't thank you enough for taking care of all that.
makes two of us.
I hope it ultimately didn't end up being too much trouble. That's certainly not what I was expecting you'd have to go through. But thank you. I'm just glad you both came through intact. So, were you two able to get that workup together?
Got it right here. That sample? It's an exact match for the ones from Londinian.
Londinian. That's exactly what I was afraid of.
Not thrilled to be the bearer of that kind of news. That's for damn sure. So tell me you've got some kind of plan for that workup.
Well, right now, we've got more questions than answers. So I've been trying to figure out what it's gonna take to access our old Terramorph data.
Good place to start. What'd you find?
It's in the archives.
The Armistice Archives? Doesn't that mean we'd be dealing with the Cabinet? And the Freestar Collective? And House Varun somehow? Guess we can kiss that approach goodbye.
I didn't think the cabinet would be willing to hear us out either. But I called in some favors. They've agreed to hear us out on 2 conditions. One, they want to see this analysis you two have procured. And 2, they want to discuss what happened on Tau Ceti. With both of us. Well, when the colony war came to a close 19 years ago, with the signing of the armistice, 3 factions were involved in the negotiations. The UC, Freestar, and House Va'ruun. They made a lot of decisions about what sort of tactics should and shouldn't be permitted in future conflicts. All information related to the things they decided should be banned was locked away in the archives. Now, it's possible to get things out of there, but only with the agreement of members from all 3 factions. And as to what our research is doing in there, well, I'll get to that. The Cabinet's the UC's highest governing body. The President, top military brass, scientific and diplomatic division heads. Any major decision the UC makes goes through them. They're the only real chance we've got of unlocking the archives. So without their blessing, we're flying blind. Of course, you deserve the full story. Percival and I, we're not just researchers. We were military scientists, ran a division of the UC together that deployed aliens on the battlefield as weapons.
Place I was hiding out. That was our unit's home base.
After some early fits and starts at other facilities, the place eventually became the heart of UC xeno-warfare. A practice that's been banned ever since the armistice went into effect almost 20 years ago. And the UC military cut us loose for what we'd done. No. We were both dismissed after the war for what we did. These days, we're just concerned citizens with a very particular area of expertise. Our damage has been done for a long time. Oh. You already knew. I'm sorry about that. It didn't seem relevant in the moment, and well, it's not something I'm exactly proud of. But it was during that assignment that the UC asked us to explore deploying terramorphs on the battlefield. The project never got off the ground, but the data our team gathered is now sitting in the archives, along with all the other information banned after the colony war. Under the watchful eye of monitors from all the galactic factions still participating in regular politics. But if we can convince the Cabinet to help us access that data, it'll give us the tools we need to decipher what exactly this sample might mean. And hopefully, how to prevent more attacks like the one that spawned it. Because the Terramorph project was doomed from the start. Terramorphs are too mean, too smart, too hungry to be used in combat. Trust us, we tried. The data that's in the archives, it's historical write-ups, anatomical notation, food chain analyses. I doubt they would have even classified it if it didn't have a xeno-warfare logo on it. You have my word. It's not a threat. I mean, I hope they will, given the evidence we've acquired. But getting the Freestar Collective and House Va'ruun on our side, that won't be easy.
Since neither group is exactly on great terms with the UC at the moment, for various reasons.
Exactly. It's going to mean negotiations and deals and plenty of diplomatic legwork to see this through. But I don't see a better option to solving what's going on here. So it's gonna be up to us to get them on board. All right. I'm gonna go get this work up into the Cabinet's hands. I'll meet you out front of Mast in New Atlantis.
Good luck. You two are gonna need it.
In order to avoid injury, please report.
We just need to get the Cabinet to see this for the threat it is. When people find out who I am, it usually makes things complicated. And the situation we were in back on Tau Ceti, in that moment, we sure as hell didn't need any added complications. I wish I knew. Despite the difference in scale of the two attacks, the samples having the same markers, it's too big of a red flag to ignore. But whether it's something internal to these morphs that's different, or something common in the environments, or something else completely, we can't know yet. We just need more information. That's why we need to speak to the cabinet. Exactly. To access the archives, we need to get the UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun to all agree to help. And just getting the UC alone on board is going to be hard enough. I don't expect the cabinet's going to be thrilled about the prospect of rocking that diplomatic vessel.
Might be time I start working on some projects. My own.
The heart of the settled systems. SSNN.
Oh, how are you?
Let me sell the contraband here.
I tell ya, coffee is the only thing that can...
Watch out for the robots.
A
They're
heated battle ensued between the Crimson Fleet and the Miners.
We got a lot of good stuff. Take a look. Hey, get you on the flip side.
A surprising turn.
While we're here, let's swing by Centaurian so I can pick up some ammo.
Just give me a second.
Another day, another credit.
Captain! Over here! The workup's in the cabinet's hands. They said they'll call for us once they've gotten to properly review it. But listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier. So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there. My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance. The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place. I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon, one-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War, former head of the UC Navy. They called him Ve Victus, woe to the defeated, in Old Earth Latin, a title he earned. The program I was a part of, it was the UC's attempt to create a new generation of military minds from one of their most respected tacticians. Secure the leadership of the UC military for generations to come. I'm the last. A few of my siblings, they passed when we were young. Training accidents and the like. But most of the rest were deployed to the front lines during the Colony War, and they never came back. Not a day goes by where I don't think about what the world would look like with them still in it. A non-trivial amount of gene editing. Clone, honestly, isn't even really the right term for our relationship, thanks to the amount of donor material that was required to bring me into this world. He and I are different on more than a few levels, but there's no denying the fact we're inextricably linked. A non-trivial amount of gene. Clone, honestly, isn't even really... He and I are different on more than a few levels, but there's no denying the fact we're inextricably linked. He would have happily told you he was one of the greats. Ultimately, though, it didn't matter. The man I was cloned from, my father, was executed for acts he committed during the war. The man caused a lot of death, on both sides. Freestar Collective and UC. Military and civilians. And the things he did, well, they're a part of the reason the UC and Freestar Collective aren't really on great terms to this day. So my involvement, it could be another obstacle they throw at us up there. I just wanted you to be forewarned. He had his men open fire on civilian ships during the Battle of Cheyenne. A battle that he ultimately ended up losing anyway, devastating the UC fleet and bringing the Colony War to an ugly end for the UC. But he's also the one who ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport during their outbreak, condemning countless lives. Both sides agreed the settled systems would be better without him. Well, my areas of expertise are pretty specific, but messed up families are up there. You know, while we've got a second, was there anything else we needed to discuss? I know you got dropped into the middle of this pretty fast. Or, if you've got any last-minute business to attend to, now might be a good time. No telling how long the cabinet's gonna keep us waiting out here. That's actually a souvenir from my time on Mars. The Red Devils unit I was a part of, they were founded by recruits who'd worked some of Mars' deepest mines. Folks used to adversity. The dust at those depths, it seeps into everything. The human eye included. Where the name Red Devils came from in the first place. It became an unwritten rite of passage that anyone wanting to enlist with the Devils had to do a stint in the mines before they could join up. The Devils were always talked about in such revered tones during my training, so as soon as I was old enough, I signed up. And the eyes were my parting gift. I mean, we never spent a lot of time together. He was too busy being Fleet Admiral to deal with kids. I was raised by a pair of guardians instead. Until his defeat during the Colony War, though, he was known as an extremely effective commander. Savvy. Perceptive. That mind opened a lot of doors for him. And for me, too. But Victus, for all his ability, was heartless. Ruthless to a fault. In the end, that's what cost him his life. Well, thinking about it more, I suspect there'd be value in sharing the fact that the Terramorph project was, well, a failure. There's no need to be afraid of this data being weaponized. Knowing that should calm some of the Cabinet's fears and make it easier for us to dispel any suspicions the other factions might have about our intentions. Eye strain from the amount of reading I've got on the horizon if we succeed. The Terramorph project never went anywhere. It couldn't. They're deadly creatures, but they aren't xenoweapons. The Cabinet not opening the archives is probably a bigger risk than them handing over the files. That data itself isn't dangerous, which probably wouldn't be a bad point for us to bring up, should the opportunity arise. Then I guess it's just a matter of...
The Cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the Cabinet chambers.
Sounds like our cue. Here we go.
Captain, crossed paths with Hadrian Sinon earlier. Said you've been invaluable to her.
Ah, welcome. You must be the captain Hadrian mentioned in her report. You have our thanks for the risks you faced in securing this information.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yes, well, precisely how urgent is what I hope we'll determine here today. So now, we have two petitioners here making a surprising request. Access to the UC Xeno Warfare Team's Terramorph data, currently housed in the Armistice archives. A request which will require not just this body's agreement, but that of all three Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun. Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject, but we have yet to hear from you. Perhaps you could summarize for the Cabinet what it is you see as the goal of this endeavor.
That's quite the leap, Captain. Madam President, I object to the very premise of this meeting. While no one would argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy, Terramorph attacks are not some sudden new threat on the horizon. They've been happening for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge and possibly upset the balance of galactic diplomacy because of a single attack seems at best panic, and at worst, a power grab by the daughter of a bloodthirsty warmonger and her associates.
I would remind the chief diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult a medium. I would also ask, How many deaths the cabinet requires to act? 50? 50,000? Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks, I have no doubt you'll get the body count you require.
Let's keep this civil, shall we? And while there should be no doubt, the preservation of life stands paramount among this body's duties. Chief Yassine has a point. Will a single attack, however troubling, be sufficient to convince the other factions to grant us access to what they no doubt consider weapon data? I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain. As the one who actually collected the sample in question, did this terramorph seem at all alarming to you?
That is worth considering. This attack took place on an almost completely uninhabited world. The casualties were minimal as a result. But if there's another attack, will we be so lucky?
Yes, a fine point, Admiral. So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far, if you were in our position, would you grant the request made to open the archives?
It doesn't matter if it can be weaponized or not. The archives need to remain sealed for now. There's no reason to rush into a decision of this magnitude.
That? I hadn't thought of that, Captain.
An excellent point indeed. The other powers would likely be much more inclined to work with us knowing that. Chief Diplomat.
That point is a good one. Very well, you have my agreement. The galaxy is lucky you were here today, Captain.
You and I are in agreement, Chief Diplomat. So, if there are no other objections, I believe we can agree to give our full backing to make the request to... What was that?
Attention. An incident has occurred. Facility lockdown engaged.
Incident? Chief Sarkin, what's happening?
There's been an attack at the spaceport. Terramorphs.
Terramorphs. More attacks. Just as predicted.
Good God.
Damn it. They're here. Now.
There must be another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later. Chief Sarkin, order the evacuation of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Thanks, bro.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Logan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. Nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got. You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming, and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
We're on it, ma'am. Captain, I'm right behind you. Let's get down there. We've got our orders. Let's move.
What the hell is going on?
Did you buy Legendary? Or did you buy it,
You! The EM rifle, grab it! Now!
Stop! We're trying to help you!
Please! I can't stop!
The AM weapon! Find it!
That's it.
you bought Legendary, dude, hog. Emmy is a fucking journey, dude. It's so fucking good. I know, we all have our reservations, right? It's EA after all, but this was BioWare's last good trilogy. I've replayed it a few times, you know, and I really replay games, so...
Now hit him with everything you've got.
I'm not afraid. Got one. Bad luck for you.
You want my honest advice, bro? Don't go Renegade or Paragon. I know it will lock you out of some things, but roleplay, like, make the decisions that you think. Because it's BioWare after all, right? And Renegade sometimes is good, sometimes it's just you being a dick. Which doesn't feel good in power fantasy standpoint, so... So just call it, just do what you feel like doing, you know? Don't go one route or the other.
Target down. Feel free to drop some... Let's see what you've got. Until later. I will not be stopped.
Also, what class are you gonna play? I will say, like, personally, the Mass Effect 1 gameplay is alright, but the gameplay itself gets quite better at the core level in Mass Effect 2 and 3. In 1, I just choose pistols. I maxed pistols, and they are really OP. But you can use any weapon. Biotic powers are fun. They make for some good combinations. Yeah, you're locked to one class. It's basically abilities, like, you know, Infiltrator, you can use snipers and you can go invisible, you know. Then there's Adept, which Adept is you can only use a pistol, but you get the most amount of biotic powers possible. You can go Engineer, where you can use shotguns as well and some other weapons. But you get some tech abilities like, you know, Cryoblast or, you know, stuff like that. So there's shit like that. And there's Soldier. Soldier, you can use any weapon class. But you get the least amount of abilities. Everything is fun, and if it comes to it, you can play with something in Mass Effect 1 and 2 and 3 where the gameplay gets better in terms of core, you know, ability usage and impact. You can switch to another class, and so you can finish Mass Effect 1, and if you want to, you can change your class in Mass Effect 2, then change your class in Mass Effect 3 at the start. Even carrying your save forward, because you'll be carrying your save, right? Because all the decisions you make, they might reappear.
Why are you fighting me?
Well, I don't want to spoil, you know. Some things reappear. Most will reappear. Some in small ways. But it's fucking good, dude. Like, you will do the first mission of Mass Effect 1 and it will be fucking... It will set the story up quite good. Because you do a mission, then you are in the Citadel, which is the space station area. So it's quite a strong opening from a story point perspective. Bro, I think this quest is broken. Let me see. Starfield. Incapacitate the attackers. Bugged. Okay, I need to beat them. Like this guy. He's dead, right? Alright, bitch. Okay. Okay, dude.
Thank God you got here when you did. I just wish it hadn't come to that.
Yeah, what the hell happened back there, Captain? There's no excuse for using lethal force here. This isn't a joke. We're preventing casualties, not causing them. So get your head in the game. Understand?
Shut the
now,
fuck up, Hadrian. I tried, okay?
The way those people were acting. I've seen this before. They were under the Terramorph's influence, weren't they?
I don't know. They were down at the port and they just started screaming. We tried to restrain them, get them on the train to get them out of harm's way, but some of the other officers down there, we couldn't restrain them fast enough. They just started firing on us. People we knew. They went berserk.
Pheromonic projection. Some Terramorphs, they can induce this fog. It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control, turn against everyone around them, even if they don't want to. They're like a puppet. You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our fire, and keep that EM weapon at the ready. I honestly was just wondering the same thing. But no, you don't need to worry about me. I've had a Terramorph try it on me before. I'm not susceptible. So we'll just have to make sure to watch out for each other down there. I'm not suggesting. It's documented behavior. The result of the projection, though, can vary wildly. Some folks just shrug it off. Others hallucinate. And some lose control altogether. They'll lash out at anyone around them, but still be aware while they're doing it. Those cases, you'll either need to knock them out with EM fire, or free them by killing the Terramorph. Let's do it.
Nat's unlocked. Please, do what you can to help them.
Hang on, bro. So what was it, dude? Like, are you gonna create your own character? In Mass Effect? Fuck, it's Pog, bro. Fuck, dude. It's Kino, dude. It's one of my favorites.
You were born to do this.
Fuck. I've got an N7 hoodie. That's the only gaming merch I've bought. Let's see, Mass Effect 2. I've got 36 hours. I also own it on Origin. Mass Effect, I've got 20 hours. Because initially when I played it, I played the free trial. Yeah. And Legendary, I put 120 hours in. Mass Effect 1 I've replayed at least 3 times. Mass Effect 2 I've played 3 times. Mass Effect 3 I've only replayed twice. It's fucking good, dude. It's good, man. Do you want to Legendary good? Legendary, yeah. Legendary is pretty good. It's the same games, right? Legendary mostly changes Mass Effect 1 with some quality of life. People like to say there are some downgrades, and there might be little bit of downgrades, but I don't think so. It's very minor, nothing a first-time player will notice. And having all the DLC in one play is quite good as well in Legendary. And Legendary automatically, you know, carries your save file over. With the old system, it was quite hard because Mass Effect 1 you had to buy on Origin, Mass Effect 2 you had to buy on Origin. You bought the games on Origin, but you had to buy the DLC on BioWare's own store. So it was a fucked up, you know, it was a messed up system. So it's like, yeah, Mass Effect is like that, bro. It's, you know. But Legendary makes it seamless. Mass Effect 3 had a multiplayer. Multiplayer was quite good, actually. It was wave-based, but it was actually quite fun due to the powers. And multiplayer could tie into your story progress. But in Legendary, there is no multiplayer, so they have fixed that. They have fixed the story progress it affects. So even without multiplayer, you can get, you know, good. Or you can play multiplayer with, you know, by yourself if you want. Well, you can't, but, you know, you can't play multiplayer in Legendary. Have you played Outer Wilds, bro? Before I returned to Starfield. People say it's Kino. How much is it? Let me see. Outer Worlds. It's still expensive, a little bit. What about Subnautica? My friend recommended it.
This PDA has rebooted with one directive: to keep you alive. Scans indicate this location supports a diverse and healthy ecosystem. Exploration is conducted at your own risk. Utilizing alien resources is a proven survival strategy. Explore, study, catalog new species, secure food and energy, and gather data on unusual phenomena.
It seems quite cool. Dang, bro. This seems Kino. Both of these games seem Kino. Subnautica is in my wish list. No, I should have had it. Okay, the bundle is $27, but the DLC. So I'll wait a bit. I'll wait a bit. How long is the sale, dude? 28. 28. Oh my god. Yeah. I'll see next. No, it will finish before my next payday. Ah, well, it is what it is. Yeah, both Outer Wilds and Subnautica have DLC. What's this? Hang on, before I return. I'm deleting this game. Okay, never mind. It bugged up. Holy shit. I'll play it sometime. Anyways, we got some Terramorphs to kill, dude. Isn't that bugged quest?
I don't think we're alone.
Oh God, no time to waste, Captain. Stash the EM and pull some firepower. Let's move.
Spaceport District.
Be okay.
All
It's not
citizens
real.
are required to proceed to the nearest shelter.
Dang, bro.
My backup! Don't just stand there! Wait, officer? Are you and this woman
experts? Take whatever we can get right now. We've got the remaining creatures locked down on the landing pad, but we're barely holding our perimeter.
Fuck, I need a better pistol.
They said you've done this before, huh? Well, I've got one fire team to spare and whatever supplies you need, but I can't risk them taking over any more of my men. Put those things down and do it fast. We'll hold them as best we can.
Heard you might be looking for some backup. You say the word, we're out there on your 6.
You two have any experience with terramorphs before?
Only the brief they just gave on the way here, but we know how to handle pressure.
Surviving a full-on mental assault isn't the same as keeping your cool in a firefight. Might make you more liability than asset.
We're not UC security. You don't need to worry about us. We're not afraid, but we'll stay here and hold the line if that's what you want. You're the experts. Your call. We're on the line.
Down!
Oh, God. Captain! You're going to be okay! It's not real! Whatever you're experiencing right now, it's not real! We have to put down that morph!
Please! Please help, please.
Don't mess with me!
Dang, bro.
Save. Never safe, never safe. Never safe.
Target down! Nice work, Captain!
It's over. Thank God. If these things reached the populated areas of the city, we would have had an absolute massacre on our hands.
Should you buy fucking... Dude, I've already put you up Andromeda once. Do you remember that? But no, don't buy Andromeda, bro. Please don't. Play Mass Effect 1 to 3 first, okay? After that, if you want to buy Andromeda, come talk to me, and I will discuss it in detail with spoilers, you know. To tell you what exactly is my problem with Andromeda and how it compares to 1 to 3. I don't get it, dude. Like, look at this, right? I'm on... What difficulty were you on? I'm on hard. I think it's just the weapons I have. I pulled out this shotgun, right? Like, check out this. It does 186 damage. Damage increases as health decreases. Oh, it's my health. Never mind. This shotgun destroyed it. I didn't have ammo for anything else. I know I was... Because, yeah, right now, like, Terramorphs don't seem scary to me. I've fought them a few times, but... I think maybe they need to melee attack more. When they hang back and just shriek, it's kind of easy to exploit. It's kind of why Deathclaws were so dangerous, right? They run at you, they move incredibly fast.
Guess they weren't kidding about you two. Universe put the right people in the right place. Certainly doesn't feel like it.
I don't want to think what would have happened if you two hadn't been here.
Just glad we could rise to the occasion. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the Terramorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
Thing deserved all that, and worse.
Now I'll play on hard. Hard is still good in firefights, I think, because I take damage, and I've died actually on hard pretty good.
Attention. The spaceport has been secured. Safety precautions remain in place. Please wait for the all clear signal before exiting your homes. That is all.
My partner's all right. He's getting stitched up instead of zipped up, thanks to you.
Terramorphs. Holy hell.
Will they get pissy at me because I had to kill those people because the game bugged?
That's a relief to hear. Thank you, gentlemen. Let your people all know how much we owe them today.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone in the line of
Captain?
is a tragedy.
Hadrian?
These
It would
attacks,
appear that the cabinet owes you
they
our
can't
thanks for
happen
what you
again.
did for the city today. As well as an apology. Your concerns about the Terramorphs, well, consider them validated.
Thank you, ma'am.
Have some respect, will you? That's the president of the colonies you're addressing.
Oh my god,
No,
fucking
you two are
Sarah.
in the right. I only wish we could have acted sooner. Now, today's events have only clarified our path forward in the eyes of the cabinet. You will have our full support in collecting the Terramorph data from the archives, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Will you do this?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored.
Hog.
Excellent.
Bro,
But
do
as
we
you
get to
both know
fight with the
clearly,
Red Devils?
For such an investigation to succeed first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House Varun to play ball. Someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right now. The Cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative. The Cabinet wants progress, and wants it quickly. You're already far more familiar with the situation than any diplomat would be. There's also no diplomat alive that can claim they helped keep a cadre of terramorphs off the embassy doorsteps. The Cabinet was unanimous. They want you. We do. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. So, will you help us? It has its perks. Only citizens can purchase property in the city. We also pay reduced prices on most goods and services across the UC. There's also a credit disbursement when you first join. Help get you on your feet. But above all, you'd become a dedicated part of the greatest faction in the galaxy. If you're willing to help us, we can open that door. I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in without the proper support. Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. You're dismissed.
You've got the Cabinet's full backing to
I'm
prevent
gonna
more
go check
attacks.
in with Chief Engineer
Understand?
Carney. Start getting a plan together for that data.
Battlefield 1, no CPU GPU usage. No, can't say I have. Let me look it up. BF1 low CPU GPU. Nah, can't be a bottleneck. You can run Battlefield 5. It's probably just Frostbite engine. Let's see what the YouTube guide says. Let's see, BF1 low CPU GPU usage. Fuck, dude, I don't know. What frame rate do you get? Is it playable or not? Frostbite engine. Have you tried fucking around with the settings as well? Yeah. Yeah. I like the team play aspect. Because Battlefield 5, like, the issue is, it really easily becomes a stomp. Yeah, less blatant hackers, for sure. Like, play through the Battlefield 1 maps, dude. Some of the maps are really cool. So the moment you have charging certain points. Like, once you work through the map rotations, you will find some really cool ones. This guy's getting good frame rate for the GTX 1060. You know? So I don't really... So there must be some way to make it work, but I wouldn't know. So this guy is playing on a GTX 1060 mobile. And he's getting 70 plus FPS. Just try fucking around with the settings. Try turning down render scale a little bit. Dude, I like this aspect a lot when there's a bunch of team. And this is quite a big map, but some of the maps that are smaller, you will see, like, you know, 10 of your teammates with you, 15 of your teammates just rushing to the same point. It's fucking Kino. Yeah, that's what I fucking like, dude. I like team rushes. Let's see, Battlefield 1. Team. Yeah, movements like this, bro, are holy fucking Kino. Fuck, I love BF1, dude. Yeah, this shit, dude. This is what I live for, man.
Sasha!
Let's see. What's the map? Turkey map. Beef one maps. What was the name? Wooden Heights. Amiens is a really good city map. Fall Fortress is cool. It's big, but it's cool.
These Ottomans would destroy our empire! Finish them here, on this rock, and end this war! Attack!
Dude, the intros, dude. Holy shit, man.
Finally. First, we must overrun. Non dimenticheremo mai l'indelebile vergogna causata al paese dalla
Holy fuck, I love charging. Is single player good? It's okay. Single player, I kind of liked it, but it's... Did you like the Battlefield? Actually, I never played Battlefield 5 single player. I kind of got bored of it. I did complete the Battlefield 1 single player though. Like DICE isn't good at designing single player, but I enjoyed it because it's war stories based. I didn't like the pilot one. Some of it's not that good actually, now that I recall. I wouldn't go out of my way to play it. You'll have more fun in multiplayer. I like the Australian Gallipoli one.
We didn't get where we are by sitting on our laurels. Our laurels, in fact.
But the gameplay is just multiplayer maps with, you know, single player elements added.
Pardon?
Hello.
There's objectives and stuff, but nah.
Yes, sir. I'll make sure they get what they require. That must make you my Vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre.
Dude, I have
Chief
a...
Yassine's second in command. I heard
There's
you were
something about this
instrumental in
quest.
protecting the city from the attack. You have my gratitude. I was also informed that you gave quite the presentation to the cabinet. Chief Yassine wants you to know the Interstellar Affairs Office is fully committed to this endeavor, accessing the Terramorph data and beyond. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure you have the tools you need. And that means first getting you into the archives. You do know what the archives are, correct?
Someone paid attention in current events. So, then you also know that it was originally managed by the 3 major galactic players. Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency, and requires a one-time use code from each of the 3 Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varoon.
Now, the UC is already on board, so that means we'll need to convince 2 people. The ambassadors of the Freestar Collective and House Varoon to hand over their codes. Get them both and you'll have your data. But that's a lot easier said than done.
Dude, I have a kind of like thing. I have a worry right now. I hope I won't need to go to the Freestar Collective capital and House Varoon capital to do this quest. Please don't. It's not that I mind going there, it's the only thing it's like if I go there, I will want to explore and do a lot of local quests, which might take away from the pacing of this quest line. So I'm hoping it's just talking to the ambassadors in this city.
No. Each is a strip of several million random numbers generated on the fly based on biometric keys kept by each of the ambassadors on their person at all times. They're impossible to create without those keys, and those keys stay with the ambassadors, meaning we're accessing nothing if we can't get them on our side.
I couldn't agree more. However, both ambassadors have reasons they won't, or can't, work with us. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code, but ultimately, it'll be up to you to get them both to cooperate.
And I do mean cooperate. Threats and violence are off the table here. Though that doesn't mean we can't get creative.
But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're dealing with.
Okay.
Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar, or Ambassador Balmore of House Varoon?
Let's go Freestar.
The good Ambassador Radcliffe. She's a veteran of the Colony War, and her only goal in life is to make ours miserable. Now, officially, our office is suggesting you try and negotiate with her.
Use your experiences as a member of the military and with the threat we're facing to convince her to lend her support.
And who knows? Maybe that'll work. Stranger things have happened. But my suspicion
What's up, dude?
is we're going to have to rely on other tools to get her code.
Fucking really? I thought Varoon would have with their own hub. That makes me think they're just bad guys. They're not an interesting, unique faction. Hopefully they're an interesting, unique faction.
Certainly. See, good diplomacy is all about the careful application of pressure. We just need to find the squeeze.
UC Intelligence has a recording device planted in the ambassador's living quarters, which we suspect you can use to your advantage.
But getting caught trespassing is a quick way to land yourself in an embassy holding cell.
So, if you are going to try and access the device, you're going to need to find a way in there without being seen.
Now, we recovered some intel we believe should be able to help with that.
Bro, there's nothing you
But
can
there's
spoil.
also a disgruntled staff member you might be able to pump for information. Maybe even convince to work with you. Yes, many. Don't steal anything. Don't get caught anywhere you're not supposed to. Absolutely do not harm anyone. If something goes wrong, we'll do our best to smooth things over, but I can't make any promises.
I already know the ending of Starfield. I don't remember the details, but I know the new Game Plus aspect of it.
Name's Cameron Long. He's younger than Ratcliffe, bears less of a grudge towards the UC. He works closely with the ambassador, making him a promising source for information on the ins and outs of embassy life. And someone who very likely hates her guts. All right. Here, your diplomatic ID. I'll give them a heads up you're on your way. Not likely to let you through the door otherwise.
And take these. Chief Yassine wanted you to have some options on how to proceed in there.
Captain. Ambassador Balmore's a challenge. When the rest of House Varun retreated into seclusion shortly after the signing of the armistice, Balmore stayed here. He's since lent his support to a small number of archival requests, so there's real hope he might again. Though claiming to know how a member of House Varun thinks is a quick way to earn yourself a psych eval.
Well, these days, they're primarily considered a security threat.
Carbon.
House Varun Zealots, a fundamentalist outshoot of the group that stayed behind when the rest retreated into seclusion, want nothing more than to send everyone not dedicated to their cause to the great serpent in the sky. But that hasn't always been the case. After they ended the Serpent's Crusade about 70 years back, House Varun did take a real run at trying to normalize relations with the rest of the galaxy. It's why they have an embassy here in the first place, why they were included in the armistice negotiations. But then, without warning, they left. Leaving behind, to our knowledge, just the ambassador and his duty under the armistice.
Could it be the Dragonborn? Joachim.
Well said. There's no reason to assume they're any worse than us, despite their cultural beliefs.
Of course. But there is another wrinkle. We're not 100% sure Balmore is actually still alive. His public appearances were always rare, but it's been several years now since he last poked his head out. Scans of the facility show life signs, but not the kind we were expecting.
Your task is to find him and kindly but firmly remind him of his duties under the armistice. Then you search the embassy for his biometric key, collect your code piece, and we'll go about notifying his next of kin, if we can ever find them. But let's hope it doesn't come to that.
The embassy is still legally House Varun's sovereign territory, so we're not technically permitted inside. We've snuck in the occasional spy, of course, but the ambassador has proven more evasive than you'd expect for a man of his age. But we're quite sure he hasn't left the city. The man stands out. The Varun delegation brought more than a few of their native flora with them when they set up in the embassy. It seems those plants have been allowed to flourish, making it hard for us to verify what's flora and what's ambassador.
have no doubt. Now, the embassy front door isn't an option, but our spies have stated there's a side entrance that should allow you access. Here, this device should get you all the way down to the embassy interior. Once you're inside, though, finding the ambassador is going to be up to you. And fair warning, we received a report that alarms might have been tripped inside the embassy during the attacks. Watch out for automated security in there.
Now, if you have additional questions or require clearance for a new approach we haven't already discussed, don't hesitate to ask. I'd suggest you start with Ambassador Radcliffe. Approach her while the attack is still fresh in her and her staff's mind. Be smart out there, Captain.
Oh. She's asking me to be smart, bro. I am the paragon of intelligence. I literally played through the first chapter of Trails in the Sky before I realized how to tell weaknesses. But in my defense, I was doing it off memory before that. So I have some kind of intelligence, just the autistic kind, I suppose.
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Uni was looking for you. Sounds like he's got more work.
Poggers.
Hey, you wanna help me move some stuff into my new apartment?
Nah.
Maybe we should stop for a moment at the memorial. You know, to pay our respects.
The Freestar Collective has no place in New Atlantis.
What's my problem with them? Really? I'm keeping the FC accountable for the terrible things they've done. The Colony War was an unforgivable tragedy. Countless lives could have been spared, but the Freestar Collective was out for blood. The Freestar Collective took my father away from me. Oh, please. Grief has nothing to do with it. Facts are facts. And the fact of the matter is that my dad would be alive if the FC never broke the Treaty of Narian. Well, I want it torn down, of course. The fact that there's even an embassy for them here after what they did, it's infuriating. Tear it down. Tear it all down. Ha! Diplomacy? That doesn't mean anything to the FC. They'll break any law and treaty that they feel like. It doesn't matter to them.
Okay, lady.
Back to business.
Heretic.
Hard to believe it's been 2 decades since we were at war with the Collective, when it seems like only yesterday.
So I don't want to go off and do something else. I want to focus on this mission till it's completed. It'll help with the quest spacing. The only reason I bring that up is I really wish I didn't have Sarah. Isn't there a Sarah mission? I need to do the Sarah's mission so she can shut up and leave me alone. She told me she had a friend somewhere that I had to go meet. I forgot where it was, bro. Oh, it is what it is now.
You our visitor? You'll find the ambassador in her office. Go on through.
When you have a moment, I'd like to speak to you. Something you need?
We'll talk later, Sarah. You're in embassy right now.
I'm going to be upfront with you. I'm not happy with... I have something I need to discuss with you.
Oh my god, okay, what?
Thanks for taking time to chat. I really need a friendly ear right about now. I received a message from Constellation, and it's given me a lot to think about. Not at all. It's just a list of requests, but when you read between the lines, it's obvious my absence is causing issues. Exactly. But let me back up a bit so I can explain. Before I joined Constellation, I served for 8 years as the head of the Navigator Corps, until the UC decided to axe the department. If you want to help, I feel like I need to give you some background. Just bear with me. It was a branch of the United Colonies Navy, a small fleet of ships outfitted for galactic exploration. Basically, a military version of Constellation. Yeah, sure. Some more than others. You see, the top brass demanded press-worthy discoveries to justify the spending, and money was tight after the war. Shutdown was inevitable. At the end of the day, I was in charge, so the blame obviously fell on my shoulders. Seriously? The Colony War, of course. You know, that little incident that caused the death of thousands of decent men and women as they squabbled over border disputes? That war.
Bitch.
Oh, like hell I can't. You once told me that you favored the journey over the destination. So I'm hoping you'll understand what I'm trying to say. I failed because I was more concerned about exploring the stars than pushing a pencil. If I had fought harder, I'm convinced our division may have had a chance to prove its value.
Wait, she didn't make a single discovery?
That depends on your definition of significant. Discover a rare neutron star, and no one cares. But slap a picture of a kooky alien life form on SSNN, and suddenly you're a goddamn rock star. It's all about the propaganda, what gets the people excited. That's what the United Colonies was focused on at the time. That's just it, though. This was as far from the military as you could get. Ships built for exploration, not war. And I still screwed it all up.
Sarah. We're in the Free Star Collective Embassy. If you could get this over with, please.
No, damn it. For once, I'm going to say what's on my mind instead of pretending that everything's okay. Call it whatever you want. My drive, my initiative, my optimism. It's been my greatest strength and my worst nightmare. It elevates me to these positions of authority, but all I want to do is explore, not sit and make sure all the accounts are balanced. Yes, exactly. If it's obvious to you, imagine how obvious it is to someone like Barrett or Mateo. Oh, they must be itching to replace me by now. God damn it.
Oh my god, bro.
my god. You're right. Oh, I'm so sorry. You have to understand. Once Aja retired, I lost the only person that gave a damn.
Yep. Nah, fuck off, bro. Ouch. Right to my face.
You'd think I'd realize by now that I can always depend on you to lighten the mood. Wow, that was a hell of a ride, wasn't it? Oh, I'm sorry to put you through all that. But thank you for being there and listening. It helped. It really did.
So basically what she's saying is she was feeling instead of doing.
Visitors are only allowed in the lobby, offices, or conference room. That means
That's
you.
why she failed. She doesn't put in enough work. Oh my god.
Terramorphs, as in more than one? All that security and they still can't protect their own spaceport. UC never fails to disappoint. I just wish I hadn't received the news from an SSNN broadcast. We have a strategic advantage to maintain, Mr. Long.
Of course, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Right, let me talk to you, bro.
Guests can make themselves comfortable in the lobby.
That woman is an absolute... Oh, sorry.
Yo.
Oh, what?
Check this, bro.
You're the Vanguard captain, right? You know, I was about to board the Nat to the spaceport when the alarm triggered. Sounds like I got real lucky. And like I've got you to thank for things not being a lot uglier. Heard that, huh? Yeah, the ambassador likes to treat us like family, and she doesn't care for most of them either. But look, they said you were coming here on official business. The ambassador likes to handle all that personally, even if she does have trained diplomats here to help her. And I don't want to get shipped back to Aquila City, so you should probably go speak to her. You want to work with me? Why don't we talk somewhere a bit more private?
Lead the way, bro.
So you want me to work with you? But why now? Why me? No, I think that's a pretty safe assumption. And no other city should have to go through what happened here. So then, what would you need from me? Okay, first you need her bio key, and that thing doesn't leave her side. Better chance of splitting the atom with a spoon than me getting that from her. The code machine. Only the ambassador's cleared for in there. Sorry. Her quarters. Huh. Oh, that's doable. And you and the UC will be providing me with what for my services? Oh,
Official business? Talk to the ambassador.
What a little bitch, bro. He's willing to turn on his own just because he doesn't like the lady.
I'm sorry, but I need sign-off from the Interstellar Affairs office before I...
I mean, look at it this way, bro. He's... Even if the ambassador is a cunt, right? He still has to represent Freestar Collective as a whole. His people. And he's just like, I don't like her. I'll let you sneak into the top secret clearance area.
Ah, Captain. Congratulations on joining the ranks of the...
Thank you. Oh, wait.
Vanguard.
Just doesn't add up. Spaceport has anti-Xeno protocols. How the hell does a whole Earth
Okay. Hello.
Howdy.
Welcome back. Official line is that you're... My suggestion... She's also got a... Good luck then, Captain.
Excuse me.
Problem?
This building is Freestar Soccer.
Ah, fuck it. I don't care.
I can get you into Rat. Really? Okay, you've got yourself a deal. Okay, so there's a utility corridor that leads to the ambassador's quarters, which you can access through the main conference room. Here, the key. Whatever you do, don't let the guards see you entering or exiting the utility section, or you're gonna be in serious hot water. I'll keep an ear out for more instructions from the UC.
What a little bitch, bro. He's willing to turn on his people. That makes me not respect.
Sorry. Everyone's a little on edge after the attack.
Let me quick save here. No. I need to go all the way out.
I'm sorry. Do you have an appointment? Ah, you're the one McIntyre called about. The eyewitness. She said you were at the spaceport. You have my thanks for what you did down there, truly. Saved many lives. Now, she also mentioned that, and maybe it was just a bad connection, that now the UC wants Terramorph data from the Armistice archives, some of the most highly guarded information in the galaxy, in order to protect us all.
That's right.
I can only presume you're here to tell me I misheard her and that they didn't send you, local hero, to futilely beg on their behalf. Tell me I've got that right. I was afraid of that. Let me be frank, Captain. The answer is no. That information is there because it is dangerous. I will not be the one responsible for its release. Now, why don't you quit wasting my time and yours, and go? Excuse me? I have no idea what you're talking about. No. If the Council found out, I'd lose my position. I'd be exiled. I'd be... Look, I believe we may have gotten off on the wrong foot. The issue at hand is one of trust, no? So perhaps if I can trust you to keep this little secret between us, then maybe we can find a way to trust the UC with access to the archives. You're joking, right? Oh? Oh. And a good one, too. Well-trusted friend. I appreciate it. A great sign of the relationship our two factions can have working together. In fact, I think there's an opportunity here. Keep both our factions happy and ensure an air of legitimacy to the whole proceeding. I can only let you get the information on the Terramorphs. Anything else and people will get suspicious. And all research will need to be monitored. Freestar scientific observers making sure everything's being used for the right purposes. But those two items should be enough to allay any suspicions. What on earth are you... Ah, yes. How could I forget? Here, the fee. Now let's go get your code piece so you can be on your way.
7,000 credits. Easy, bro. Hell yeah. Each.
We probably shouldn't be seen together, now that we're on the same side.
They tell me it should only take a moment. And there. It's not supposed to be a long process. It is for emergencies, after all. Here you go. I hope that'll be enough to maintain your discretion. You're gonna be discreet with that information, I hope?
Hog. I don't know what I'm pogging, bro. This part of the quest was meh. That guy turning on his own people just because he disagreed with her. Nah, bro. That's why I lied to him. He deserved it.
Down with the FC!
Right, shut up, man. Hang on, just let me check something. Should put more points into combat. Why am I so heavy, Brown? Ah, resources. Let me go drop that.
I hope Aquila City has what we need.
Where's the launch, dude? It should be. Okay, it's up the stairs.
Much as I'm eager to explore the universe, there's nothing quite like the feeling of returning home.
Time to drop off the resources. Alright, time to go back. The house we're in part of the quest now.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to go to mouse and keyboard because there might be combat in here, right? Tank. I wonder if he's dead.
But this isn't what I expected at all. It appears the flora they were using as decor has overgrown the entire embassy.
Women. It's not the time. I was listening to what he had to say. Holy shit, bro. What is this embassy?
I've never seen a tree like this before in my entire life. It'd actually be more fascinating if its branches weren't blocking our way.
Oh, come on. Quit playing games.
And that, my friend, is how we do things on Jameson.
The DGP challenge.
Make sure you check every entry. There might be some embedded data we could use to our advantage.
Why does he live like this, bro? He lives with mannequins. He reminds me of Malkavians and VDMB. Vampires the Masquerade. Oh my god. Okay, this one works, and I think this one will work. No, this one won't work. Oh yeah, I destroyed the turrets. Yo, what are are the starborn powers cool? Do you get do you get some cool shit there? The starborn powers? The Fusroda of this game?
might as well take what we can.
I'm gonna go down.
Show me what.
Bro, I can't see him. There.
Let's go.
I'm surprised there's no lower bits here. Get this one and bro, what works here? That's 2. Oh, this works. Yeah, fair enough. And the 3 there. He has a giant house or embassy for, I suppose, the others abandoned and only one guy remained, so fair enough. Dude, would you able to live in a place like this? Not gonna lie, I'd probably be fucking spooked out, bro.
You've got nothing.
Look at this quality Bethesda AI, bro. Just run at the player
Don't leave any of that behind.
in a straight line. Easy. Todd sisters. Not like this.
So, what seems punishment becomes providence. A reminder we can never truly know the Great Serpent's designs for us. You have my thanks, and my apologies for the ordeal you just endured. Come, let us discuss.
He's hiding food in here to last an age. You've just been living the neat dream, dude. No social contact.
Hey. Bring me anything useful?
Ah, fuck it.
Bye.
I'll just walk while encumbered.
Not the ideal introduction, I suppose, giving you a grand tour of the embassy via barely functioning intercoms. I do greatly appreciate your persistence. I suspect the Venom tree upstairs has worked itself into more systems than I'd realized. But then again, who could cage such a beauty? Eh? Tell me though, what is it like outside? I heard the broadcast mentioning an attack. Then the embassy was struck with a power surge and then silence. Has the rest of the city suffered quite so badly? Harmless spores, you have my word, but hard to navigate. Hence why I was guiding you through the intercoms to restore the environmental controls. And release me. It is the sap of the tree that gives it its... well, perhaps not a topic for this exact moment. But I must know of the rest of the city. Does it still stand? I take it you didn't have such an experience where you were then, hmm? Yes, the entire embassy was thrown into lockdown. trapping me in my quarters, disabling the Venom Tree's filters, and arming the defenses. A disconcerting experience, to say the least. Was the rest of the city spared? Is that right, huh? I shall need to have these repairs seen to sooner rather than later. Now, it cannot solely be the Serpent's grace that brought you here at such an opportune moment. You were sent by the UC. That much is obvious. Who else could just waltz through my door, hmm? And the broadcast spoke of terror morphs at the spaceport. A worrying occurrence, certainly, but coming here of all places, when all I could provide is some enthused cheerleading and... an archive code. So the UC requires information, then. On terror morphs, presumably, hmm? Do I see this all clearly?
Dang, bro. He knows. He's much better than the fucking Freestar Collective representative. What a Chad.
The preservation of life stands as the very purpose of the archives. Using its data to prevent more attacks, there is logic there. But if I am to grant you access, I have a requirement. For years, House Varun has been known only as an agent of slaughter. We founded this embassy with hopes of shedding that legacy. With little success. In exchange for my code, I require this. You must be the one who ensures it is used for good. Ensure House Varun's legacy is more than just carnage. The knowledge you ask for isn't evil. No knowledge is. It is we who bend it to evil ends. Oh, you must assure me this will be used to save lives, not endanger them.
Holy shit, bro. What a fucking Chad. Yes, my king. I will die for you. And you're telling me House Varun are the bad guys? Hell no. This is the only good character in this entire city.
A fine counterexample, responsible for the deaths of millions on ancient Earth. And, fireworks? Absolutely capable of being put to violence, but not evil in itself. And here you are with a similar conundrum. I might be willing to support you if I knew I would not be tarnishing the legacy of House Varun by doing so.
We'll do everything we can to make certain that happens.
Oh my god, Sarah's here.
Then I shall not fear. Please, follow me.
And you say Russians are the bad guys, bro. He has a Russian accent. I'm just kidding, dude. I met some really cool Russians in New Zealand.
Let's hope it still works.
Personal computer. Oh, I have to read this. Hell no. I'd rather kill every single person, every single other person in this city, than kill my king. Dang, dude, he's standing. So House Varun has, yeah, withdrawn. He's the only guy still trying to improve relations. Hey, they've contacted. What are they planning, bro?
And there. Let it be used for good.
Is it really necessary for you to drag around all that gear?
Not the fucking time, Sarah.
I will not have House Varun be known all... The affairs of House Varun are our own. They left. That is all there is to be said on the subject. House Varun committed itself to the armistice. This was said at the time to be the desire of the Great Serpent, and I do not believe the Serpent decides such things on a whim. So, when my brethren left, I remained, honoring the Serpent's will as I saw fit, as is the right of all his followers. It was tolerable, even pleasant, when my brethren were here in the embassy with me. We remade this place as best we could into a home we all would recognize. Our native flora, our iconography, our connection to the Serpent, they came with us. With my brethren gone, it has been trying. But the Great Serpent has always provided me a path in my darkest moments. The Great Serpent is so much more than a god. It is fate itself. When our founder, Jinan Varun, left the United Colonies 140 years ago for distant stars, it was the Serpent that compelled him to found his now great house. The Serpent made us who we are today. Its voice speaks to us, shepherding us through the dark and in... The Great Serpent is... When our founder, Jinan Varun, left the United Colonies 100... The Serpent made us who we are today.
Dang, bro, alright. Alright, well. Use Varun's storeroom keycard. Ugh, mass. That's what I should do. I should max out lockpicking. Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
You're only as safe as your equipment up. I would never dream of selling. Please do. Good luck on all your adventures.
Right, let me grab a drink of water. Okay, we're almost sorry. You have to go to mass, right?
Yes? You needed something?
You didn't hear this from me, but those ecliptic mercenaries, the factions use them sometimes. Freestar Collective and UC both. It's why they give them a wide berth. Ask me, those murdering assholes should be blasted into space dust.
Hey.
Captain, I just received a couple messages from an operative in the embassy office. Did you actually succeed? With Radcliffe? And Balmore? Was he alive? Did they both actually agree? That's incredible. I wasn't sure Radcliffe would ever get on board.
Thanks, man.
I'm very much looking forward to getting the debrief on how precisely you managed to pull all this off, but that'll have to wait for another time. Regardless, superlative work, Captain. And now, I've already arranged everything with the archival monitors. When you get down there, the UC monitor will give you instructions on how to deploy the codes. Follow them to the letter. Here, the UC code piece and an archival access card. The entrance is just on the other side of the plaza across from Mast. Absolute best behavior down there, all right?
Captain, can I help you?
You know what's tomorrow, dude? That's right.
The ancient teachers
No, it's a Friday.
said he promised impossibility.
And the day after that is Saturday. Hopefully I can get some good fucking questing done on Saturday, bro. Hell yeah, man. I'm almost kind of glad I took that zombie break. It wasn't a break, it was just me zombing out. I feel refreshed. Feels good, you know.
Captain, we've been expecting you. Please approach the monitoring station and we will go over the rules. Welcome, Captain, to the archives. To proceed, you will need to deposit your codes into the 3 corresponding receptacles. Once they are verified, I will open the door. Your data resides in Unit 18. You will not be able to access any of the other units. Once you've collected your data, return to the entrance. You may insert the first of the archival codes when you're ready to begin.
Bro, House for Varun area is a mess.
All codes verified. Unlock engaged. You may proceed, Captain.
Man, I can't do the other shit. The House Varun guy was shad. The Freestar Collective just seemed stupid, you know? The guy who's willing to be a traitor and the lady who conveniently, despite her position, wanted to off someone.
This space is a memorial to those lost during the Colony War. Your consideration is requested.
Here on Vanguard business?
What?
Yes, there you are. Captain, surprised to find out we're having visitors as we work.
Major Sinan and I were just discussing the merits of your planned interfactional cooperation. I think it's a great idea. Get them invested in the solution. Make it clear we've got nothing to hide.
I'm sure they'll be lovely house guests.
Now, Captain, if you wouldn't mind transferring the documents to the Major, she and I have been discussing next steps. Plan is for Hadrian to take the data from here.
Time for us to start getting some real answers. And figure out if we've been asking the right questions. So whenever you're ready. You're carrying the most comprehensive collection of information on Terramorphs in the known universe. If we can't pry an answer out of there, it likely doesn't exist. Certainly doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but we're not going to know until Percival and I dig in, so whenever you're ready. Yes. It will be. Percival and I have done our damage. This is us starting to put some things right.
Plus, you don't need her word. We'll be setting up oversight alongside the collective.
Acknowledged and accepted, Captain. So with the data out of the way, we've been discussing where exactly this work's getting done. The Red Devil's headquarters on Mars, back where you found Percival, seemed the natural spot. Already has the equipment, the safety measures. Should even be able to house its own cadre of independent observers. Though it sounded like the deputy had a few more things she needed to discuss with you first.
Indeed. The most important of which is getting you your citizenship.
Og.
Then I guess we'll see you on Mars.
Captain, if you'll follow me.
This? I didn't know if this was ever going to happen. Well done, Captain.
USA. 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 I'm a citizen now, dude. I'm no longer a border crosser. Are you proud?
Follow me. All right, Captain. Are you ready to become a citizen of the United Colonies? It doesn't. We don't really care where else you might have been or might become a citizen. Once you earn your place in the United Colonies, it's yours. Good. This isn't the only item we need to discuss, so I'll give you the short version. Please raise your hand. Captain, through your actions today and in days past, you have earned your place among the United Colonies. Through service, bravery, strength, and upholding of the mutual good. Will you carry and cultivate these values for as long as you remain a citizen? Then, Captain, I'm pleased to welcome you into the United Colonies as a full citizen. Here, your official ID and your citizenship dispensation. We've also let the Aphelion Realty office out in the plaza know you're approved to purchase property. Now, the other item we needed to discuss. There's a member of the UC who's asked to speak to you, but this person is in a sensitive position. Normally, we wouldn't even consider something like this, but we think this person has information that could prove useful in dealing with the Terramorphs. And they've stated they'll only share it with you. They asked for you by name.
Me?
So I need
By
your
name?
agreement that everything you're about to see is kept in the strictest confidence. You can tell no one. Can you agree to these terms? I'm sorry. I can't share any more without your word. Do I have it? I understand this puts you in a strange position, but this information is too sensitive to share without your agreement. Can I count on you to keep this between just you and I?
Sure.
Let's hope it never comes to that. Head to the elevator. You're going to subsection 7. I'll make sure you're cleared for access by the time you get there.
Okay, before I leave for Mars,
everything you see down there is highly classified.
what am I gonna see, bro? What's the UC doing? What is the United States doing? Oh, no.
I've lived in New Atlantis almost my entire life, and I had no idea this place even existed. The UC certainly excels at keeping secrets.
I was gonna make a joke, but this bitch here killed the timing. Bitch.
Logging authorized entry. Unsealing access. You may proceed down the corridor. But there are no additional visitors permitted. Your friend's gonna have to wait out here.
You're cleared for entrance.
Welcome, Captain. Please, come down and approach the intercom. You and I should chat.
Let me sip.
President Abeyo was kind enough to give me a few files to peruse. Quite the series of accomplishments you've managed. But now you face a foe unlike any other. An invisible enemy, lurking in the shadows. You're going to need all the help you can get. Which is why I hoped we could speak. Do you know who I am?
Yeah.
No, I suppose not. I'm Francois Sanon, but most know me as Victus.
Dang, bro, he's still alive.
Colony War. One of its great villains, if you believe the slates. I was to be executed for my crimes. But the previous regime deemed me too valuable to simply discard. So they put me here. A sacrifice on the altar of peace. Even my death served the colonies.
Dang, bro.
To warrant my execution. The official charges I faced after the war were twofold. The first was the destruction of civilian ships during the Battle of Cheyenne, a battle during which those civilian ships were actively attacking my fleet. The other was ordering the bombing of the Londinian spaceport to halt the spread of the Terramorph outbreak there. The city and its citizens were lost, but countless others likely saved.
Yo.
And for doing what was right, I was put on trial, and my life irrevocably changed.
He became the Lich King by doing the right thing. History happens again, dude.
One final act of rebellion by the leadership that lost the colony war. The trial was authentic. I faced tribunal with dignity, but my execution, staged. A lethal injection that was anything but. The cabinet at the time, long gone now, wished to keep me on as an advisor, and considering the other option, I was in no place to refuse. So I elected to trade my freedom for my continued existence. But such is the life of a soldier. Very astute. That's my daughter. My progeny. You've been working alongside. Has she shared with you the nature of our little family? Did she? So willing to trust Hadrian. I never did succeed in driving that out of her. Our relationship has always been a challenging one. The Major was born to become a great leader, carry on the legacy I established, and was given all the finest training to support it. And she excelled. But the universe cut all that short. Now, though, it's placed even more crucial work in front of the two of you. And I think I have a part to play in helping you accomplish what you've set out to do. It was an attempt by the United Colonies to solidify its own legacy, forging a new generation of great leaders. They were raised by adoptive families made up of scholars and tacticians, trained at the United Colonies' greatest scientific and military academies. Displayed incredible promise. But by the time the colony war came to a close, there was only Hadrian. But that's ancient history now. You have much more pressing matters at hand, with which I can help. After some long years earning the trust of this current regime, the UC has been permitting me to work alongside one of their recovery teams, helping them gather intelligence on, locate, and organize scenarios to lure in some of the criminals that evaded justice after the colony war. With quite a few successes, I might add. But in the process, I managed to find something else. The names and locations of Hadrian and Percival's old research team. Valuable manpower for the effort you're about to embark on. I'll tell you where they are, but in exchange, I need something dealt with. Well, who better to find them? But many of them I knew personally, and I've always had a mind for details. Where someone was born, next of kin. You'd be shocked how often an otherwise brilliant criminal flees to the planet just next to the one where they were born, or where a family member resides. I simply use my own personal knowledge and the information our group collects for me to track them down and set things right. There is a former colleague of mine, a man by the name of Dr. Reginald Orlaise. Like myself and Hadrian, he was involved in some of the United Colony's more problematic lines of research. Mech weapons were his specialty. If it dealt death, he could make a deal more. When the colony war ended, he fled, refusing to face tribunal, and has continued to peddle his skills to the highest bidder to this day. But I finally found him. I want you to track him down and deal with him, however you're able. I'm not expecting he'll come quietly. Bring me evidence that the job's done, and I'll tell you what I know.
Is he in a position to blackmail me? Also, I'm not gonna kill him. Fuck no.
Speak to Deputy McIntyre. I'm sure she'd be happy to hear that someone might be tying up this loose end at long last. Though I would ask you, do not make the mistake of confusing me for a simple cutthroat. Captain, your files indicate a track record of unlikely successes. It is my genuine hope that, perhaps down the line, you might become a part of our team. And this might be something of a tryout. You can certainly try, but the man's been out there 20 years. He's likely gone feral by now. Easier for all if you simply blow up his ship and be done with it. If that's what you require to sleep at night, so be it. According to my information, he's been hiding around the world of Etheria, Wolf System. There's a star station in the vicinity, the Den. The head of the local vanguard, one Captain Marquez, should be able to help you find our man.
Hog. That's a cool mission.
If you don't believe me, speak to the deputy. I was told the process was decidedly complex. While we come from the same clay, the kiln and the sculptor had much to say in who Hadrian became, for the better. We are, after all, so much more than our legacies, genetic or otherwise. It's a phrase, actually, in one of Earth's dead tongues. Woe to the defeated. I acquired it during my school years, after defeating an older cadet so badly that it led to his dismissal from the program. Since then, it's been hurled at me by critics who didn't like the methods by which I achieved victory. But I can't say I don't like it. Stood as a reminder, I wasn't a man to be trifled with. The official charges I faced after the war were twofold. The first was the destruction of civilian ships during the Battle of Cheyenne, a battle during which those civilian ships were actively attacking my fleet. The other was
Already heard this.
the city and its citizens, and for doing...
Hog. We're victors. What's in here? Can't access this. What's his living quarters like? Dang, bro, they built him a nice apartment. He can't even rub one out in peace. That's the price you get for being a war criminal, bro. But maybe he's, you know, a deviant. I know. Top. Important lore prognosis that you asked for. He seems like an interesting character, but he's just asked me to kill someone for him. He's trying to give me an order, and I don't like that. So I'll have to see for myself what he's worth. Because right now, I'm not gonna kill that man.
Identity verified. You may proceed to the exit.
You've got something for me? Excellent.
Okay, I need to get an apartment. I need to pick up the Jake Stout again for the lady on Mars before I end up on Mars.
Yes? What?
And I need to do the quest for the security guy.
Captain.
But I'll do the quest later,
meeting
actually.
Go well. I hope it's clear now why we needed you to agree to all the secrecy.
Or maybe I'll do it. It ties into being part of the UC, so maybe it won't be fully out of touch doing it.
Exactly. Just another prisoner. Nothing you'd ever even think of bringing up in conversation. With anyone. Ever. We understand each other? The Major doesn't have clearance for this sort of information, and she certainly doesn't need a distraction from her current, very important work. Which is why I need you to keep this to yourself.
Short of jailing you? No, you're right. But in this moment, I think it would be a big mistake to tell her. Though I presume he didn't call you down there simply to discuss his daughter. Dr. Reginald Orlaise? He's finally found him. Of course, killing Orlaise is completely out of the question. But bringing him to justice... He's been on the lam for years.
That'd be a huge win for the UC. What's being offered in return? Really? He found the members of the research team. We'd already initiated a search for them, but it'd save a lot of time and manpower if he just gave us that information. Captain, if that's the deal, you have my endorsement. Just so long as you make every effort to bring the man in alive. Now, was there anything else you wanted to discuss regarding your meeting? Trusting the man downstairs would be a mistake. But I don't think you need to be too concerned. This is far from the first name he's handed over, and all previous missions went off largely without a hitch.
So while I'd certainly warrant caution,
I think you can proceed. The Den? It's a star station, orbiting Wolf, the second star station actually to bear that title. The first one was blown to smithereens by House Varun during the Serpent's Crusade. The place has always acted as a remote strategic hub, primarily for repairing and refueling UC military vessels. But because of its distance from the rest of the UC, things there have always been a little more lax. Patrols included. I can think of worse places in the galaxy for a criminal to hide out. Then I'll bid you good day, Captain. Oh.
Dang.
Pardon.
Okay, time to go get an apartment, bro.
It's a buyer's market right now. Welcome to Feeling Realty. I'm Zora, and what brings you in today? Looking... That's fine. It happens all the time. I never mind an opportunity to chat with... I'm here if you have any more questions, or if you'd like to look at properties. Oh, don't I wish. Between UC regulations and demand here in the city... But you best believe I'm keeping an eye on the situation and actively lobby. Well, first of all, let me just say congratulations on becoming a United Colony citizen.
Yay.
Let's see what we have available. Right now, I've got a little place in the well that's up for grabs. Needs some work, and the location is less than ideal, but it's a foot in the door, so to speak. I have a penthouse apartment in one of the residential towers. I forgot. Government has dibs on that one. Well, if it comes back on the market, I'll let you know. Sound like something you're interested in? Great. It's very cozy. I'm sure you'll love it. I'll just process the transaction and make sure ownership is transferred. And the apartment is all yours. Congratulations. Enjoy your time in New Atlantis.
Let's go check it out, bro. I think I ended up buying a house in... what was it? Jarl Balgruth's, Whiterun, yeah. I had a place in Whiterun with Lydia. With Lydia Chan. And then I had a place in Makrub? Makrub? You know the Stone City? Margot, yeah. I didn't like Riften. I think maybe I also had a place. No, I didn't think I had a place in Solitude. Or maybe I did. No, I didn't have a place in Solitude. Or maybe I did. Fuck, I don't remember. But Riften's a whole, dude. What do you like about Riften? What's the area outside of Riften? I don't remember it much.
Ah, crime has slowed down since you started helping out. The whole department is in the process of recovering, myself included. If I'm being honest, I still have nightmares of my team turning on one another. Things can be replaced and wounds can be healed, but building back that trust in each other is going to take time. Luckily, we've built a good culture here, and we hired some new recruits who were inspired by what you did. I've got faith we'll survive this. I do. Thanks to you, the spaceport is up and... We've received a tip that someone has been bringing in contraband into New Atlantis through the spaceport, and we need to investigate. Well, technology-wise, criminals have always been one step ahead. No different now than it was centuries ago. Smugglers often have a fancy shielding or scan jammers that allow them to evade the checks. But luckily, we can still use old-fashioned detective work to track these criminals down. Great. First, speak to one of the technicians over by landing pad B. Ask them if they've noticed any suspicious activity. Once you've gotten a lead, cross-reference their testimony with ship records over at Aegis. When you're done, report back to me with your findings. Remember that job you did for Agent Plato? I finally had a reason to call in that favor he owes us. I asked him to pull the names and cargo of every potential smuggling ship that docked in the last month. He said he'll have a slate ready for you to examine. There should be a few working on the land. Right now, we don't have any... See you later.
Time to check out the new place, and then I'll stop there for the night. I also liked Windham, to be honest. I like snowy areas. The bar or pub, the pub in Windham is at the inn. The inn in Windham is kind of cozy.
If you ask me, it's always a good time for a Terra brew.
They fucking hate the Dark Elves, though. They fucking hate them, bro.
Everything good? We're here to help.
Okay, need to buy Jake's stout.
Hey.
You need something? Ask. Otherwise, you buying? You better be buying.
Did you play Final Fantasy 15?
Yeah. Alright then.
Well, I like the bit where, you know, you're encouraged to eat food. So you, with the bros, you either make food at the camps or buy it in places, and you discover new recipes with the new food stuff you try. Don't buy it, bro. Don't buy it. Ugh. I wish I could tell you to buy it. Yo, can you decorate my apartment for me, bro? If you're gonna play it, yes. If you're not gonna play it, wait. It'll only become cheaper with time. Oh, I'm too lazy to decorate, to be honest. I kind of wish it came with basic decorations. Like in Skyrim, it came with basic decorations, right? Actually, no, in Skyrim, what I did was, I liked reading the books, right? So I did collect books and put them in my house. So I did do that at least. If you play it, you will love it. But you said you didn't like Persona 3. Explain yourself. Dude, the music in Persona 5 is fucking good. And 3, and 4. It is banging. I like the social aspect of 5 a lot, yeah. I'm glad I played it, put it that way. And the social aspect makes it really fun.
Sorry, I can't play right now. I'm grounded.
Alright, I bought Jake's stout. I need to go to the lodge, bro.
Every time I return here, I'm reminded of the importance of Constellation's contributions to exploration.
Yes, cool story. What? How are that's weighing so much? 8 ship parts. I need to get rid of ship parts, bro. And I need to sell a few weapons. Can I be honest, bro? I think this game has too many weapons. Because they don't feel... Their names are different, their stats are different. You're constantly getting stat upgrades. However, functionally, they don't feel all that different, you know? Gameplay-wise, they don't feel different. But their stats are like 1,000 stats on it. I never played Fallout 4. I don't know how bad his Fallout 4 is. But the older Fallout games, I liked using a few weapons and it stuck to them. Actually, I do remember looting a lot of weapons and using the extra weapons to repair. Okay, let me clarify. I didn't mean the variety. I like the fact there are lasers. I like the fact there are pistols. I like the fact there are, you know, shotguns of different kinds, mixed and match. But what I mean is the stats on weapons. There are too many different level weapons. I think the upgrades and should be fewer. Maybe I'm just not used to it. Maybe I just need to find an epic weapon that I don't need to upgrade, you know? Or maybe I should just stop picking up weapons. I should probably stick to a few weapons, to be honest. I just need to change my gameplay style as well. Let's go to spaceport. But I will say, like, shooting-wise, they don't feel all that different, you know? Maybe I need to find a really good sniper. Because the different assault rifles, semi-automatic rifles, the pistols, when you're talking about actual gunplay and shooting feel, they're smooth, they work smoothly. It's not too much of a criticism because it is an RPG. It's not like Borderlands, right, where shooting is the gameplay. Ah, well, it is what it is. It's not that big of a deal anyways. Let me go to Commercial District before I sign off. See if I can upgrade the news story. Because I'm a Terramorph saving Chad now.
If you have a news story for me, I'm very happy to pay your fee. My source is back. Here to report anything else?
Really? To say you have my undivided attention is an understatement. A lot of people were there. The accounts we've got were chaotic. What was your role in that? The Vanguard was involved. That's good to know. The whole city is still on edge over the attack. We were fortunate, damn fortunate, that casualties were so low. What was it like in the thick of things?
Hell yeah.
You never know quite how precious life is, until it's under threat. It sounds like New Atlantis, heck the whole UC, owes you a great debt. Any closing comments? I already have a good story here. That makes me feel better. I feel like such a sap, but it does. Hey, Constellation? From all of us that live here, thanks. We use the word hero a lot in news, but you really are one.
So what are you expecting for the DLC for this game, bro? Do you think they will do a unique setting? Because they already have the RNG systems built in, right? Maybe they'll introduce a new galaxy and just focus on quests within that single galaxy alone. It actually might be, well... well, if, you know, the... small contained stuff, that's independent of the larger game, has the potential to be really good. depending on what they do. Because you remember, dude, it's only 3 years till the end goodening of Starfield comes out. Yeah. Well, if it's not in the game, then it really needs more House Varun. But anyways, let me save here. And to bed. I kind of want to do more space stuff, dude, just flying around. I need to remind myself this is a space game. Anyways, let me see here. But for now, I'm focused on the UC Vanguard mission. After I do the quest line, I'll do a bunch of space stuff. But anyways, bro. You have a good night. It's alright, man. Friday tomorrow. I've got to do laundry after work, but I'll be online after that. Yeah. Night, lad. Bye-bye.